would make you say, well, yeah, he's a Republican, he's done Republican things. But, I mean, and I would not accuse him of being a far right-winger. I would say, all right, a little tiny bit right of center. But when you come out and say I could have ran as a Democrat, I mean, it's like, I mean, I can't defend you any longer.
No, sorry, bro. And there's this guy I was hanging out with last night who said that, yeah, you know, I guess Trump's going to take it, huh? I said, well, I don't know. We'll see between him and Cruz.
It's increasingly getting closer and closer. In the very beginning of the primary, it looked like, okay, everybody's just going to get bowled over.
Right.
And
it's getting pretty close now. And so he yeah, I just kind of wish Kasich would have got it, you know. I said, what?
What was the reason for that?
Well, you know, it'd be pretty good for Ohio.
It would be good for Ohio. He's already our governor.
Yeah, he said he was pretty good for Ohio.
Oh, he thought he was good for Ohio.
I said, well, you know what? He hasn't been good for Ohio. He's bringing in these refugees, Muslim refugees. He's allowing I think it's 120,000 into Ohio.
At least 70,000.
The job. Listen to the capitalist that's running for president. Trump threw out the numbers about how many jobs have been lost in Ohio because of Kasich.
He said, and this is an interesting point, this was early on, it might have been the very first debate, said the only reason Ohio isn't in even worse shape is because fracking just landed on his lap.
Right.
So with the fracking in Ohio, he's able to raise enough money.
And now that fracking is
gone.
Yeah, well, now that fracking is gone, you're going to feel the pinch in Ohio big time.
Well, last week, I reported on what kind of city Youngstown has turned into.
Oh, and I apologize for the listeners out there. I got some feedback that we beat Youngstown up a little too much.
Were there Youngstown listeners?
Yeah, and they're like, hey, we got to live here in this
Wow. Oh. Now they're gonna yell at you again. They're like, hey, I just listened to that. You're ragging on me for ragging on you.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So since we're on this whole ISIS ordeal,
were we? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, with the bombing.
How many tangents can we go down?
No, this is kind of segueing.
Okay.
Into did you know that it's now Rudy Giuliani has now pinpointed who the ringleader and the person who started ISIS is?
Really?
Yes.
Rudy Giuliani, the former mayor of New York City?
He says he knows who it is, and we need to do something. Well, I don't know if he says to do something about it, but I mean, breaking news on Fox News.
Totally don't know anything about that.
He just blows it out of the water for this ISIS thing, and I've got the clip, so I'm just going to let it roll. Let him, in his own words, just kind of let it roll off his tongue about who...
And that's a memo. Now for the top story tonight, reaction. Joining us here in New York City, the former mayor of New York, Rudy Giuliani. I don't think any of the presidential contenders have a clear vision to take this ISIS group out. Do you?
She's got the least. I mean,
Bernie Sanders. He's got the least.
I don't consider Bernie Sanders.
Okay, but he's still a contender.
For her to say...
Saying Hillary.
That, they stood with us the day after September 11th, and we should stand with them. Well, her president was sitting at a baseball game doing the wave and laughing instead of trying to rally the West against ISIS on the day that this killing took place. What he did yesterday embarrassed me as an American.
I wasn't surprised because he feels that this terror stuff is just a matter of business. It's just the way the world is now. We're going to have it every month or so. We're going to have it. And then he felt that his détente with Cuba was important enough for him to go through it. I know exactly what he was thinking. But I understand what you were thinking because you were in charge in New York City when 3,000 people were killed.
If you're talking about doing what she wants to do, which is to rally our forces against ISIS, you got to come back to the White House. You got to sit in the Situation Room. You can't leave until you come out with a plan.
Well, he doesn't want to do that. Barack Obama doesn't want to rally anybody.
She had her chance to do it. She helped create ISIS. I mean, Hillary Clinton could be considered a founding member of ISIS.
Wow.
because we have a guy, an expert coming on about it.
Wow. The founding member of ISIS is Hillary Clinton?
You didn't know? Breaking news on Bill O'Reilly. Hillary, the founding member of ISIS.
Did he say founding father? Oh, we got some gender issues here.
Well, it depends on how she feels, what she identifies with.
I could see her identifying as the father.
That's what they say. That's what they say she does. And later on in that clip, I guess, I don't know, I had a bad cut on that clip. Later on in that clip, it comes up where they talk about Ted Cruz and Donald Trump, who would be best to handle ISIS. And he emphatically says, oh, no, Cruz, no, it's a joke. No, there's no way Cruz can handle this. And he's like, well, what about Trump? He said, absolutely. Trump would be the one to handle this.
And for those of you Cruz supporters out there that absolutely hate Trump and want to do the never Trump thing, there is so many examples of Trump being ahead of everybody on Islamic terrorism.
Yes. He's coming out
article,
early.
Yeah, his 2000 article, it may have been 2000 or 2001, before September 11th, warning about bin Laden attacking America, and in a way that would make the 93 bombing of the World Trade Center look like peanuts.
Right.
And he was absolutely right. Everything, he was against the Iraq War, which in hindsight, now I've made the case for why it was okay to do Iraq. I've written an article about it in Sick Bias, and it's been pretty much confirmed and corroborated with a Prager University video, which I felt like they used my article as source material for that.
Of course they did.
But we didn't need to, and the void that taking Saddam out ended up leaving a void for ISIS to come in, and kind of created the same situation that led to 9/11, which was that Afghanistan was a void which allowed for the Taliban to pretty much become a training grounds that launched the attack on 9/11. With the void in Iraq, you could have your caliphate, you got the ISIS coming up, and it just becomes a big launching point for future large-scale terrorist attacks. So in hindsight, maybe it's hard to say this guy that's violating 17 UN resolutions, just let him stay, because you know what? He'll keep the terrorists out. It's hard to even think that hindsight, but in hindsight, yes, that's true. Before hindsight, it's like, nah, man, this guy's
and then I start to think of Muammar Gaddafi in Libya.
Yeah, he's the one that caused that the Lockerbie thing or whatever. Pan Am. Yeah, big terrorist bombing there.
Shot
he
down.
Funded all that.
Yeah, shot down. And I think did he not come out and apologize for it? Like
later on,
20 years later, or something.
Later on, he ended up funding the settlement for the families or something like that.
Okay.
So he apologized and gave money to the victims' families. So whatever.
Okay, but
he's still burning in hell right now. But whatever.
Yeah, and that's fine with me. But Muammar, head of the dictator of Libya, ruled with an iron fist, and it was an awful place to live. I would never live there. It's just awful, awful, awful. I don't know if he gassed his people. I don't know if he killed his own people. I mean, I don't know too much about that. I know Saddam, it's been proven that he was gassing his own people. But I'm not saying that that's a rhyme or a reason, a good or a bad, to let somebody stay in power. Muammar, during Bush's reign, had some imminent fear of Bush, I guess, and voluntarily offered up his weapons of mass destruction.
It was after they found Saddam in the spider hole. And he was like, whoa, I do not want that to happen to me. So he's like, I give up up everything.
Unbeknownst to him, Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton will soon follow. Hillary goes in there and says, yeah, I'm going to take this Libya. I'm going to take it out. We took out Iraq. Now I'm taking out Libya.
And Egypt. He
the overthrow and put the Muslim Brotherhood.
Obama allowed Muslim Brotherhood and actually backed him, not realizing that was. I mean, honestly, you talk about
when you say not realizing, come on.
Well, Rudy Giuliani is calling Hillary Clinton the father of ISIS, but
Correct.
I don't know. I mean, it kind of looks like Obama, maybe.
He's the mother.
Oh, that's right. Oh, forgot.
They sent, and I'm throwing this off the top of my head, I think they sent a couple dozen, Obama did, a couple dozen F-16 fighter jets that the American fighters sent a couple dozen brand new F-16s to Egypt, to the Muslim Brotherhood, as a welcoming, housewarming gift. Sent them a couple dozen F-16s.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
Boost them up. Yeah, it just makes me want to throw up my own mouth.
Just give them a couple nukes too.
Right.
They're defensive. They're defensive nukes.
So check this out. We got a thing on Hillary. I just want to throw this out there because that happened this week. There's some breaking news on Hillary and her email ordeal. It's coming closer and closer. It's getting so close to the point of indicting her that there are fractions of the FBI that are starting to say, if this department doesn't indict her, we will absolutely indict her. There's no question about this. It's really bad. Now all of a sudden, some of the emails that are coming out, because they're dumping like 20,000 emails, 10,000 emails at a time, so it takes people a little bit of time to go through them. On Fox News, Fox Headline News, this came out this week about her email.
A possible smoking gun in that investigation. A newly revealed email from the Pentagon to Hillary Clinton shows that our U.S. military was in fact prepared to respond to the Benghazi attacks. This email said, quote, "We have identified forces that could move to Benghazi. They are spinning up as we speak," meaning that they are getting ready. They are prepared to go there. Well, the email contradicts claims made by Defense Secretary Leon Panetta that there was no time to get U.S. forces to Libya. Well, it appears that all was needed was the green light from the State Department to the Pentagon. The 2012 attacks killing 4 Americans, including our ambassador, CRUZ Stevens.
Wow, so she let him die.
Not before the Muslims raped him.
Well, so did she wait and made sure that happened first?
Yeah, the Muslims had to, and it's beyond me how.
Guys. Not only should you obviously not want Hillary to become president, but even if Trump is the nominee against her, for you to let her, the person that lets American service people die because of her incompetence. I mean, blood's on your hand if you don't do everything that you can to prevent her from winning the presidency. Blood is on your hand. Yes, Cruz supporters, I'm talking to you. Hey, if Cruz becomes the nominee, I'm going to vote for Cruz in order to prevent that incompetent, manslaughtering.
If Kasich is the nominee, I will vote for Kasich.
Yes.
If Paul Ryan is the nominee, if Mitt Romney is the nominee, if they steal it and they give it to somebody, whoever it is, you cannot allow this woman, who I believe when she gets to hell, the devil will scream and do all these things. Oh, Hillary. Oh, hey, what's up? You want to tour the place? Or you just... Yeah, I mean, it's the same old stuff. Burning in hell, burning in hell.
I mean, the devil might actually look at her as a threat to take over. I mean, it's possible. That's possible. He may try to hold her down.
If there is...
He may make her his VP just to keep her from...
Yeah.
Or Secretary of State.
Her punishment is in hell is to be the devil's Secretary of State.
Right. That way it'll...
She can watch everybody burn at all times.
No, she'll enjoy that, though. That might be her heaven.
Oh, wow.
Oh, boy.
This woman, we all know how despicable she is. And in Ohio country, if you will, the country of Ohio, in our neck of the woods, if you will, Ohio, I don't think there is a lot of love for this